lot of the ground that we farm has been in our family for well over 100 years. And so obviously I wanted to keep it fertile and productive for another 100 years and beyond. So I want to take very good care of it.
It's just kind of crazy to think, 100, 200 years ago, where I'm sitting right here, my ancestors were using horses to farm like where I am right here. It's kind of crazy to think about that.
My name is A.J. Booher. I'm the 6th generation farming right where we're at. I grew up here. I live in my grandparents' house, which is where my dad grew up, and then, we've got 2 houses, and we grow up in one, and when you get older, the grandparents move out and you move in that one, and back and forth, and we've been doing that for 3 or 4 generations. One of my goals on this farm is to make sure that we've grown and expanded enough that if any and all of my kids want to stay and be part of the farm, there's enough there for everybody. The way I see it, I was handed a wonderful opportunity, and I think it's only fair of me to give each of my 3 kids that same opportunity that I was handed.
I'm Joe Booher. I'm the son of AJ, and he's a 6th generation farmer here, and hopefully one day I'll take over. I'll be the 7th generation here. Make a great place for my kids to take over and help out on the farm. Same with Zach. I'm sure Zach will be here with me helping out. I'm hoping to follow in my dad's footsteps, go to Purdue. I'm probably not going to do the same major as my dad to get a little different aspect of knowledge on the farm. I want to stay close so that I can, on the weekends, I can help out, so I can be there for my dad and help work.
My name is Amy Booher, and I am actually a farm daughter. I was raised on a farm. Both of my parents were also raised on farms, so I believe I'm 7th generation farmer. For the farm, I'm kind of the gopher, go for whatever they need. I also help feed all the guys during planting and harvest season. I also handle all the payroll, all the bill paying, a lot of the marketing, and a lot of the inventory in and out, meaning grain. And I help get all of our taxes taken care of, so I just do all the office work. So it turns out my degree in business from college is very, very helpful. When you grow up on a farm, you realize that when it's time to work, it's time to work. And it doesn't matter if somebody's having a child or if somebody's getting married, sometimes you just have to work. So I understand marrying a farmer, when he has work to do, there's work to do, and I don't get upset.
Through planting and harvest season, I'll go days without seeing him just because he's so dedicated to his work. He's spending those countless hours, and he comes home tired, but he'll get 4 or 5 hours of sleep and go back and do it all again until the next day. And it's not just about the money either. He loves what he does.
I've heard him say many times over the years that he'd do it for free, and as a bonus, we actually get paid to do what we love. So farming is just a lifestyle. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle. I love it. I'm so glad that I get to live this life.
We try really hard around here. We try to do the absolute best we can. We don't try to necessarily do it the cheapest way or the fastest way or the easiest way. We try to do it what we think is the best way. And so a lot of times, come harvest time, we're pleasantly surprised. Through spring, I feel like, man, I made some mistakes, or I wish I'd have done some things different. And by July or August, I'm thinking, man, I don't know what we're going to have out here. And more often than not, we get to harvest and we're very pleasantly surprised with what we wind up with. A lot of what we grow depends on just the 6 or 8 inches of topsoil and rain and sunshine. And all the technology in the world, it'll help, sure, don't get me wrong, but if you don't have that proper soil and the proper sunlight and rain, it'll humble you in a second.
One of my favorite childhood memories of growing up on a farm was when my mom made treats and we took treats to the field. I don't remember really taking lunch or dinner, but I remember the treats, probably because I enjoyed eating them. And I just remember sitting on the little seat in the combine and riding with my dad and just loving it. And I think it's amazing with farming how those traditions can continue. My husband and I have 3 children, and we had 3 children 4 years old and under. So I couldn't really help with the meals at that point. Luckily, my mother-in-law did the meals, but we could take treats because that was a little bit easier, a little less work. So I love that I was able to carry on that tradition of the kids who were, a year old, 3 and a half and 4, being able to spend a little bit of time with their dad in the field, taking them treats. And that's one of my favorite things about being able to carry on a tradition that I remember that I loved from when I was a child.
She's just very supportive of my dad, and it makes me think like if I were to grow up and like be with a farmer, like I want to be the type of wife that she is, like the farmer's wife that's like funny and supportive, and she's there for him. She's taken meals to him in the field, and she understands like when he has to work long hours and she might not get to see him, like she still makes the most of it. Like it was his birthday yesterday and he had to spend it all day in the field. She was still able to make it fun for him, like order him a cake, and we all got together in the car and had a fun time.
People ask me, what we own or whatever out here, and I tell them, at least with our core family farm, I said, I don't feel like I own that farm. I feel like I'm part of that farm. And I said, the way I see it, I said, just imagine our farm is this big ship, and I just so happens that there's a 30 or 40 year span that I happen to be at the helm of that ship. And hopefully there'll come a day when my kids will take over, and maybe I'll still be on the ship, but I just won't be at the helm of it. But I don't look at it as me owning the thing. I just see me as the captain of the ship for a finite amount of time, 30, 40 years, and I'm in charge, and I'm going to make sure that I do what I can to make sure that it's as valuable and productive as it was when I got it, and hopefully add to it so that there's more there when I hand it off than what was handed to me.